This is the current Department of Child Safety billing form for children placed in both licensed and unlicensed foster care. All the information must be correct to ensure proper payment. The placement's information, that's you, the foster parent, is in the top right and bottom right corners. The information on each shaded line is what the Arizona Department of Child Safety has in the system for the child. The participant ID number, child's name, dates the child was in the home for that month, service authorization classification, and number of units or days the child was placed with you are most important. If any of the information is incorrect, the placement must draw a line to the incorrect info and write the correct info on the blank line directly below the same column. Irregardless of any changes, you must write the number of units used under the type number. If there were no corrections, these numbers will be the same. If not, they should be corrected. You will not be paid unless you verify the numbers in this column. The actual rates or amounts paid are set by DCS. You must complete the form for 3 payments: the license rate, the clothing allowance, and the personal allowance. Those rates also need to be verified from the state's current foster care rate chart, especially if a child has been classified as medically fragile child or at a special rate. If a rate amount is incorrect, that must be handled through the DCS case manager and their management. Payment processing does not change rate amounts, so no corrections can be made in these columns. If a child is completely missing from the statement, write their complete information, as shown for the other children, in the first blank shaded line and include all info in the first 7 columns. That includes their participant ID number, which is found on the notice to provider, the child's first and last name, start date, that's the date the child was placed with you, end date, the last day the child was in your care, or the end of the month, what funds or services they were eligible for, number of units or days the child was placed, and the word day goes in the column marked unit of measure. The following columns will be filled out by the people who process your checks. Again, the information for the added child should include the license rate, their clothing allowance, and the personal allowance. After all information is either verified or corrected, you, the foster parent, sign and date on the line provided. Then, send the top original copy back to DCS at the address at the top left corner and keep the second copy for your records. What if I become licensed midway through the month? Congratulations! If you became licensed this month and your form does not reflect that change, you will need to correct it by first changing the end date to the last day you were unlicensed. You will also need to correct the number of days in this column to accurately reflect the number of days you should be paid the unlicensed rate. Then, on the next available blank shaded line, fill out all of the child's information again, only this time, the dates will show the time the child was in your care after becoming licensed. The service also changes. You can find your service type category on the current foster care rate chart. Again, you do not fill out the rate columns. The only rate that changes when you become licensed is the license rate. Clothing and personal allowance will stay the same. What if my child ages up to a new age range category? Happy birthday! If your child has a birthday during the month that puts them into a new age range payment category, your form should also reflect that change. Your end date should be changed to the day before the child's birthday, and you will fill out another line with the child's information, and the start date will be the child's birthday. The units used also needs to be changed to match the correct amount of days you put in as a start and end day. Along with the license rate, the clothing and personal allowances may also change when a child ages into a new category. Since the service type category abbreviation will likely be the same, write a note to explain why the change should be applied. Thank you for helping our children in every way.